Here's what no one tells you about motivation. It's not about goals, it's about gaps. Depravation is the equal opposite of motivation. Lacking comfort, lacking success, lacking friendship, lacking social status causes the emotional reaction of motivation to prime you up, get you fired up, and get you working towards receiving the result and filling the gap of what you want but you don't have. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you a simple system to deprive yourself, to motivate yourself to do the work, to avoid stimulation, comfort, and activate your brain's survival mechanisms to allow you to dominate your work without a second thought. Hello, I'm Dylan, I'm 18 and I coach unproductive people to turn productive once and for all. And I personally went on a journey of productivity with 5,000 hours or 210 days straight spent on Call of Duty and other such video games, wasting any potential I had. I had aspirations for business, I had aspirations to help others, but I simply didn't have the work ethic, motivation, or drive to do the work I needed to get done to make progress towards what I wanted. But I've turned it round. Now I effortlessly and easily breeze through large amounts of my work, for my business, for my education, for my personal development goals, and it's using depravity. I don't have what I want. I'm 10 times more motivated to get it because me, my brain, my body wants to bring it to actualization. And if you want that exact same result, this is the video for you. So the first step to utilizing depravity to cause motivation, allow you to have the drive to finally complete the work you've been putting off for the past 1, 2, 3 days in a row, is to deprive yourself of stimulation. Control your dopamine usage. Make sure you're getting it from simple sources, sustainable sources, allowing your work to be more exciting, more novel, more dopaminergic, releasing motivation into your brain easier because you've deprived yourself from the cheap dopamine. You're no longer scrolling, you're no longer consuming content on a fast pace, giving you these spikes and drops of dopamine. You're finally consuming long form content. Educational content that's not quite as stimulating. There's no pops, no bangs, no whooshes that are keeping you hooked onto the video and frying your dopamine receptor. You're removing high dopamine stimulation and you're replacing it with lower dopamine stimulation. This juxtaposition between the two will allow your work to not only be more exciting because it's something novel compared to the boring podcast you're listening to, it will also reset your dopaminergic system, allowing you to actually feel motivated to do your work because your brain has now linked motivation with doing work. Rather than scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on YouTube Shorts, and your brain thinking, oh, we're doing something that's bringing us closer to success. This feels good. Let's release dopamine, getting you hooked. You're now doing your work, and because your dopamine's reset, now when you do the work and your brain realizes this feels good, this is getting us closer to the goals we want to perceive, that means it's good, and you reward yourself after you do the work, your brain will then secrete dopamine into the motivation hormone every single time you do work. It's super simple. The cue response reward system and controlling your dopamine deprivation. Making sure you're limiting the high stimulation dopamine and resensitizing your dopamine receptors, allowing you to feel motivated to do your work and crave that meaningful achievement rather than the cheap dopamine of scrolling on your phone. Simple, effective, tactical. Just before we get into the second tip, I have a super high leverage opportunity for you. If you're looking to turn productive, make an investment in yourself and finally reach success in 2025, the top link in the description will take you to my productivity performance package where I'm changing lives forever. You'll get access to my exclusive productivity strategy, my personal phone number so I can hold your hand through the daily trials and tribulations of productivity. You'll get a free award-winning physical planner, templates, trackers, tools, and if you don't successfully complete at least 20 out of 30 planned and executed productive days within 30 days of working with me, I will work with you for free until you reach that result. If that sounds interesting, check it out. Let's get into the next section. So depravity is the equal opposite of motivation, and the brain doesn't like it. The brain doesn't like to be without. The brain works on a basis of loss aversion. So rather than reaching goals, it would rather run away from the loss. And this loss evasion can be utilized by you to hack your brain to be more productive and more disciplined and more driven to do the work by using this tactic. Pain anchor rewiring. Associating inaction with long-term loss will be the most productive thing you do, and I hope you take action from this video. So how can you do this? Write out in detail what will happen if you don't get what you want. If you never got the grades, if you never got the success, if you never got the financial freedom that you desired and you want, what would your life look like? How would you feel? How would your days look like? How much stress would you be under? And keep it on hand, read it, record it in your own voice, and play it when you're feeling down bad in this temptation of procrastination. And I can assure you, you will do the work, because you've linked this long-term suffering of the life you don't want to live with not doing the work you need to get done. And it'll make you 10 times more productive, because now you're not seeking towards the goal. You don't have a picture of your dream car on your wall. You don't have photoshopped images of you in Ferraris. Now you have a loss evasion. You're running away from the failure that you've already statistically detailed. And this will make you productive, because the brain wants to avoid the depravity, the gap, the unsuccess that you will get if you don't do the work, and you're linking the loss with not doing the work. So are you going to do the work after you've detailed the grit and the sadness and the depression and the disappointing feeling of you living that unsuccessful life, that life where you haven't achieved the goals you've set yourself? And the answer is no. You're most likely going to have more dopamine secreted into your brain, because you've associated inaction with pain. And I hope you found this useful. If you're looking to get more help from me, the top link will take you there, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you for watching.